Yo, what's good, everyone? Sideshow MMA here, and today yesterday, the UFC announced some new fights. So this is just rumored. This has not been announced, but Volk versus Yair 2. We've got Mavzar Evloev versus Aaron Pico. That was announced as a 5-round co-main event of a fight night in Abu Dhabi. We've got this also rumored but not announced, and we've got news as well. And this has been announced as well. So Jesus Christ, what the fuck are they doing? Like, what is the UFC doing? Genuinely, I'm more and more confused by the company every day. This makes no sense to me at all. I mean, Yair versus Lopez was right there to be made. Volk versus Mavzar was right there to be made. What the fuck else can Mavzar do? He's like 18-0. There's nothing else he can do to get a title shot, and he's still not getting one. It's fucked up that the UFC is giving Yair this privilege, even though he's not a star whatsoever. They're literally giving him the shot simply because he's Mexican and they want to go to Guadalajara. That's the only reason. It makes no fucking sense. Personally, right, if we're going to pass up on Mavzar and give an undeserving title shot, cool. You know, whatever. It's Mavzar, you know, he's boring. He deserves it for sure. But it's fucking Mavzar, dude. If you want to give an undeserving shot, cool. Let's give it to Gene Silva, though. All right? Let's roll with the hype he has, dude. I know it's undeserving, but since we're already doing that and we're giving it to Yair, give that shit to Gene Silva. That makes so much more sense. And it's a fun fight. It's a really fun fight. But the UFC is forcing and manufacturing a Mexican champ, I guess. They're trying to, because Yair, he could. The craziest part is that he could do it. I actually picked Yair to beat Volk the first time they fought. Probably one of my worst picks. But I had a very, very vivid image in my mind of Volk jabbing into range and Yair stepping back and throwing a knee up the middle and Volk dropping to a knee and slowly, like from the knee, stiff, falling to the ground as Yair punishes him with hammer fists on the ground and finishes him. So I'm going to pick Volk to win this fight, but dude, I still see that image even more clearly, and I was like, damn, I saw that image really clearly, and it didn't happen. But it could happen, which is making me like second guess my Volk pick. But yeah, anyway. Thing is, Yair could fluke this. Because Volk's like fucking 38. And he's been knocked out before the Lopez fight in back-to-back fights and was dropped by Lopez. You know, Yair could fluke it, but I doubt it. I'm leaning Volk based on skill. I mean, Volk dominated him in the first fight. I don't understand the point of making a rematch at all. There's no fucking point. So, yeah. I mean, Yair was beating him on the feet, I guess, if you want to go there, but Volk dominated the fight. You know, like, point blank, period. Like, that he dominated the fight. So I'm not sure why the UFC is making this rematch. Actually, I am sure. I already said it. It's to manufacture a Mexican champ in Yair. They want Yair to win so they can, because there was an untapped market in Mexico. I know Moreno was champ. But yeah, you know, I know Grasso was champ too for a little bit there. And they robbed Shevchenko in the rematch and made it a draw so Grasso could keep her belt. There's a lot going on there with the Mexican fighters. Very interesting what they're doing. So yeah. Anyway, on to the next announcement. Mavzar Evloev has accepted a 5-round co-main event against Aaron Pico, July 26th in Abu Dhabi. I like that this is 5 rounds a lot. I really like that. Mavzar should be fighting for the belt, but you know, Pico has a lot of hype. Coming into the UFC, he's got some sick finishes. He's pretty good himself. I think Mavzar will win. It's a fun fight, you know. Stylistically, it's a fun fight. You know, we're about to see Mavzar tested on the feet, even though we've seen it before. We're gonna see him tested on the feet, I guess, with Aaron Pico. Pico's still relatively young. I think he's in his 20s still. Aaron Pico. He might be wrong, but I think he's relatively young still. So yeah, we'll see what happens with his UFC career. But I do think he'll start it off with a loss to Mavzar Evloev. I think Evloev is just too good on the ground. I do think, especially if it's 5 rounds, I'm leaning Mavzar. So yeah, I think Mavzar will win. Again, though, it's a fun matchup. They're not giving Mavzar the shot, which makes no fucking sense to me. But I guess they're making it up to us with a solid matchup, an exciting matchup. But I mean, it's not even that Mavzar's not getting the shot. Obviously, he deserves it, and that sucks that he's not. But it's just the Volk fight. Like, why the fuck are they matching up Volk and Yair? Like, if you want to give someone an undeserving shot, like, I'm not dying to see Mavzar Volk. It would be sick. I'd be excited for it, but like, dude, if you're gonna give someone an undeserving shot, Gene Silva. Like, please, I don't understand. But But on to the next thing I wanted to talk about. This is a matchup we could get. I'm not exactly sure if this is true, so I'm not saying that or claiming it to be true at all. But allegedly this is a rumor. I've only seen it here on this page, nowhere else, so I doubt it's a rumor. Or if this guy's just saying it, I have no idea. But again, it's a sick matchup. I would probably lean Gene Silva in a 3-rounder and then lean Lopez in a 5-rounder. I think Gene Silva's really, really good. This is a fun fight, but they fumbled Lopez versus Yair for sure. There was some real heated beef there, some like lineage of beef between gyms and other people, and seemed like it went back pretty far. So not exactly sure why the UFC didn't make that fight. To me, it seems like they're scared of like beef or something. It doesn't make any sense. Like, there's other times that like in press conferences, someone else has spoken up, trying to like start some beef and shit. I think it might have been like Masvidal and like Kevin Holland or something, like started going at it, and Dana White like immediately like interrupted them and like stopped them from like beefing. Maybe it's because Masvidal is like a loose cannon, like might attack him on the streets because he's a fucking thug. But I don't know, dude. It's interesting. It's like they don't want bad blood. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. But anyway, yeah, like I said, this is an interesting matchup. Two really fun styles. It's gonna be a sick fight if they make this. I guess this is what they're going to make. I guess Lerone Murphy and Gene Silva isn't happening next. So yeah, we'll see. On to the next announcement. This not announcement. This is Merab, who fucking broke his toe. What the fuck is this man doing? You'll see in the thumbnail I put, is this the dumbest man alive? I mean, look at this video. Let's watch it. Let's watch the video. I mean, look at that guy, dude. There's Merab's toe. Everyone's all concerned because he fights in literally 2 weeks against O'Malley. There it is. I mean, it's really fucking swollen, and it's probably 100% broken. Merab saying he'll cut it off. Good one. Anyway. Yeah, I don't think this is going to jeopardize Merab's status for the fight. It's in 2 weeks. I'm speaking on personal experience here. I've broken my pinky a ton. And it's good in about a month, to be honest. Like, it's back to regular functioning and it doesn't hurt at all in like about 3 weeks to a month-ish. In 2 weeks, it's a fight. It's one toe. I think he'll be all right. I know toes heal differently than fingers do, but whatever. I think he'll be all right to fight. I don't think he'll pull out or anything. I think this isn't that huge of a deal, if I'm being honest. I still do think Merab will win the fight. But if he does pull out, they should definitely do Jan versus O'Malley 2 for the interim belt, or vacant. I don't think they'll strip Merab, though. He's pretty active and he doesn't really pull out. But yeah, either way, I think Merab's fine. I think this is a big overreaction from the MMA community. I know a lot of people are saying, like, Merab, what the fuck are you doing? You're fighting in 2 weeks. Why the fuck are you sparring this hard or whatever the fuck you did? Not sure, but you're fighting in 2 weeks, dude. People are freaking out, thinking Merab's going to pull out. I don't think so. It's only a broken toe. I think he'll be relatively fine in about 2 weeks' time when he fights. I don't think he'll have trouble getting cleared by the athletic commission. I think everything will be all right, and I think the MMA community is overreacting a bit. I went live on TikTok last night, and a lot of people were talking about it, saying they thought Merab was going to pull out. I don't think so. I think he'll be all right, and yeah, I don't think there's much to worry about there. But on to the next announcement. We've got Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Hernandez at UFC Vegas 109 on August 9th. 5-round main event, I assume. Yeah, main event, it says right there. So yeah, Anthony Hernandez versus Roman Dolidze. I think Hernandez is going to run through Dolidze. I think he's better than Dolidze everywhere this fight goes. I think he'll have success on the feet. I think Dolidze probably gets, when he's getting outstruck on the feet, will try and mix in the grappling. But Hernandez will counter well. He'll neutralize the grappling of Dolidze and get his own off. I can totally see that being the case. And yeah, I think Anthony Hernandez will win. And it'll project him into title talks. He'll probably be a fight away from probably be in a number one contender position after beating Dolidze. Dolidze did just run through Vettori pretty easily. And yeah, so we'll see what happens with this one. I'm going Fluffy Hernandez to beat Roman Dolidze. And yeah, that's everything I had to talk about in this video. Lot going on in the UFC, dude. There's a lot of matchups, some better than others for sure. Like this one, this is a sick matchup, but then we got shit like this, and it's like, come on, what are we doing, dude? But anyway, I appreciate everyone watching, and peace.